Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Yes, indeed. We are live. 1, 2, 3. Happy Friday, everybody. Man, it has been a day. It has been a day. I'm trying to tell you. But again, if every day was just a great day, man, would you appreciate your great days? Could you? I know for me, oh man, I guess I am maturing because that's what I see now. When you get those crazy days, man, oh man, some good days coming. It is Friday, and y'all know the drill tonight. We're going to talk about the narcissist love seeing you in pain. Good God. But before we get started, let me bring some people up in here. We got China up in here.
Hey.
Hello.
Keisha.
Ladies, is everything all right on this
Yes.
Friday? All right. All right.
A little chilly, but it's fine.
There you go. There you go. So, without any further ado, man, listen, I just want to shout out the sponsor for tonight, my girl Connie Barnes. And we're going to get right to it. We are going to get right to it. I'm going to shout everybody out because, yeah, I love seeing y'all in the chat. Everybody, come on in, my friends. Tonight, we are going to get to it, man. They want to see you in pain. They want to see you hurt up. They want to see you mashed up. They want to see you upside down, inside out. They hide behind the curtain. Just, man, oh, man. Oh, boy. What's up, Kimberly? How you feeling? Karen in the house. Andrea Davis. Jennifer. What's up, Edith? How's everybody? It's Friday night, y'all. Friday night. Yes, indeed. We're here. Yes, indeed. We're here going forward. Y'all see that? We're so just healing, going forward, getting better, feeling better. Beth, Mikey. What's up, Edith? Andrea, Joy, Tracy, beautiful butterfly. Danita Joe's in here. What's up, Danita? Elaine B, I see you like 2 of them now. What's up, Tehran? What's going on, family? Everybody come on in and do, you know what to do. You know what to do. What's up, Holly? My main man, Stan. What's up, Victory? Tanya Woods in here. Sick Thumb. I see it. I see it. What's up, Sharon? New England Beauty. Kimberly. Everybody, come on in. Greet your friends. Greet your friends. What's up, Melissa? Keisha Spady. Lady Virgo. $1. What's up, $1? It has been a minute. What's up, Christina? Katie. What's going on? What's up, Tehran? Y'all come on in. I think I got most of the people. Just about everybody. Yes, indeed, y'all. Beyond blessed. I see you. We're going right into motion. Just like Billy Ocean. Yes, I said it is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah. Life is good. Life is good, y'all. Listen. Let me tell you something. No matter where. First of all, okay, let me let DJ cut it, DJ. See that? Whew, man. Oh boy. DJ Left Hand, y'all. There it is. Yes, indeed. Shout him out. Yes, indeed. He be partying each and every Friday night. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, let me start out just by saying that when life is never going to just be one way, y'all. It just you will never find anybody who just has a life that every day it was just incredible. It was because it takes some struggle. It takes some strain. Do you understand that it takes struggle for you to even know who you are?
Yeah.
If you just had a day, everything was just laid out, man, you would have the most boring life. It would drive you crazy if you could not, if you had no adversity.
Yeah.
If you have a life with no adversity, I promise you, you have no idea as to who you are. You would have no idea of your potential. You wouldn't be able to build on yourself because you wouldn't ever see anything wrong. And we have this natural propensity to just want to be secure at all times because it's easy. You can be lazy when you're secure, right? You just lay back, man. Ain't nothing to do and get bored. It's boring though, But when you go through some adversity, ain't life exciting?
It's exciting. I love peace and tranquility.
Oh my God.
You go ahead and trade it in for that.
There's been too much chaos.
I feel you, but I want to start us out tonight with this is exactly what a narcissist wants to see. That they were able to come into your life and bring some adversity, able to come into your life and bring some pitfalls, some downfalls, some uncertainty. Most of all, they want to be able to see that they were able to come into your life and bring adversity, some self-doubt, that they were able to shake your confidence in yourself or possibly even destroy the confidence that you have in yourself. Everything, every single day. Guys, I'm going to tell you, and man, I'm just going to say it. This is me. This is what it is. We are so close to a new world. We are so close to a new world that it's actually making everybody's head spin. And I say that because, as you can see, we have already, if you look at this life, you look at the world we living in, everything in it, man, it is the biggest fraud. If there was ever a place called Babylon, where would y'all say it was at? Just by chance, just by show of hands, show of countries, where would y'all say?
100% know where it was at. It used to be Kuwait. They brought it over here. That was in the 90s. Did people start changing after 1990? Because that was one change. 2012 was another change. There was some shiftings happening, magnetic shiftings happening, and there were some changes. So yeah, they brought it over here. It's in about talk about it in Zachary chapter 5. They took it with a sword. The angel had it. It was Mr. Babylon iniquity. He put it over there by Shinear, which is present day Kuwait, where the two rivers meet. They had the war on Kuwait. It was all about getting that Babylon iniquity, black goo stuff, because things had frozen, because it was a little ice age that they probably didn't teach a lot of people about in the 1600s. But it's something called the little ice age. God froze things because they was getting beside themselves back in the medieval times. And all the creatures, they was hybriding, they was doing all of that stuff back then, and he shut it down. So now they're trying their last hurrah. Because they had all of the plagues and things and the trumpets that they talk about. That stuff was going on like early in the soon as he resurrected, the seals start going. So that stuff, they had the darkness, they had the plagues, they had all of that, the 18 months, all of that stuff was happening. Then it reset. In 1,000 years, they just, don't talk about that. 1,000 years that they don't talk about in history. Then they started coming back to surface medieval. Then it froze. Things got frozen again. Now they starting to open up gates because things are thawing. They're thawing out this ice to get these beings here. They're here now. I mean, we just beyond that. They did that 2020 when the monoliths came. They're here.
Man, you see the evidence right now.
Yeah.
You see the evidence of where it's at, where what's going on, where is that place that everybody wants to be.
Narcs have been hijacked. I mean, it's a parasite. I'm gonna do a talk on that Wednesday. It's a parasite out here that is a real parasite that I knew was linked, but now I have all the evidence to show how it's linked, because this parasite is highly contagious. It causes most of the mental health disorders. A lot of bipolar, schizophrenia, all those type of things are linked to this parasite. It causes a lot of illnesses. It causes a lot of inflammation and things of that nature, but it's transferred, and it causes the sex drive to be heightened. I'm telling you, this stuff is so mind-blowing, but it's all, not only are they proving it, but it's all biblical. Like, the narcissists gave themselves up to the kingdom of darkness. Once they just made that contract and they did that deal, them parasite and all of them things just start taking their body over. So their mind is gone. Like, they might come here and there, but when they do that thing, their reptile blink.
It's clear they're here. And we're sitting here trying to figure out what's going on, what's happening. Everybody's waiting for things to go back to the way it was. Guess what, people? Things never go back to the way they were. And that says a lot for everybody that gives that third, that eighth, the 252nd chance. It's never going back. Man, do you know how many people are sitting in the worst relationship they're ever going to be in their life, hoping one day it's going to get back to the way it was? How many of y'all in the chat, think about it, how many of y'all in the chat, just while show of hands, were in that entanglement just because you were waiting for things to get back to something they never went back to?
The reason they don't get back to that is because they can't. And also, they don't even pretend to, because now you don't see them as the person that you saw them as in the beginning because of all the stuff that they done to you. And that's what I've been told. But I do want to update on the situation that I went through. I can't talk much about it now because he do have charges. He have been arrested. He has a $25,000 bail, cash only. And they charged him with sick abuse, 2 counts, 3rd degree, and willful harm, which is a felony. So he's facing 3 charges for what he did to me. I did go to the hospital today. I've been in there all day, going through so much. They said, thank God there are no injuries to my neck. They did CT. They saw his fingerprints on my neck. I have bruises all on the side of my neck. And yes, that detective came. I let him hear that audio that I had of him admitting it. That detective almost cried because that man didn't have no empathy when he was talking about what he did to me. And he left that hospital and sat in front of that man's house and arrested him. He waited for him. And he arrested that man and called me and told me.
Wow. Well,
this was somebody different than a former spouse?
Yeah. This one, but people understand he was a friend first. That's how he know me and my children, taking me to court, watching me go through all this stuff. And then I start seeing the signs, and that's why I start backing away. And then I start thinking like, man, if I leave this man, he gonna hurt me. So I'm gonna let this man leave me. And I let that happen. And because I didn't take the breakup how he wanted me to, and I went on a date, this is the result of that.
That's what they do. They playing that last hurrah because the enemy, he know when somebody about to escape. Everything is already planned out in the second heaven, and in the marine kingdom, they have it all. They do all the transfers, so they plot out exactly when they'll cross paths, and they know when somebody is ready to, disconnect, and they go for that last hurrah of that choking. Like there are entities that choke. That's why the Bible said that one of the four things is don't do strangulation, is because it's affiliated with those entities. They like to cause as much pain as possible because they feed off of the pain. They feed off of trauma. They feed off of sadness, off of anxiety, off of stress. Every time that happens, our soul, since we are life, our soul energy goes out, and it's in the atmosphere, in the, what people say the universe, but it's in that spirit realm. But when it's out there, that's what they use to make transactions with when they doing their commerce up there in the demonic kingdom. Everything is transactional. They take this energy, they use it there, and that's how they do all their wickedness. But it's so diabolical. But we cannot play with these people. They are taking over.
Taking over.
You're
a little late. They done took over.
PD, that's my new diagnosis. Evil parasitic disorder. That's them.
It is taking
like going on. They got the real parasites.
Not only have they taken over, it seems like they were almost always in charge. It almost looks like that.
That's the race of the people.
Let me say this. People who are out here saying that it ain't that bad, it ain't as bad as people saying, be careful about those people. Definitely watch those people that's always trying to tell you that it ain't what you see, ain't what you see. You're in this world. You feel the energy in this world. Who's doing good? Who's feeling good? Who's out here really just got great energy? Everything, life is just wonderful. Everybody out here now, and I'm saying like the motivational speakers, they got to take your mind to something else. They can't keep your mind around what's going on in your everyday life. And they got to take your mindset to something else. Because if they don't, then you got to focus on what's right here. And there's no way right now that you could be walking on this planet and not feel that evil energy, that evil entity. Not saying that it has any power over you. No. But it is surely present. It's present, and it's present in a way where you cannot deny it. This evil that's walking around right now has everybody is, I'm going to say, maybe I shouldn't say afraid, but that's about the best word I can find. Everybody's afraid of even being in relationships. Even people that are in so-called good relationships. Like, wow, could that happen to me? Is that destined for me? Because everybody gonna be tried. Every household. Anybody tell you their household didn't get tried, they a lie. They are a lie. Okay, they lie to you, and they want you to think something that really is not true out here. This situation is going on out here right now. Again, we have power over it, but most of us just don't know it. We're in a situation where it's like, wow, man, it's just doom and gloom, and now everything they have this attack on us with money, and everybody's trying to figure out like what's next. That's a part of stressing you out. And that's a part that you deal with when you're dealing with a narc. We're dealing with narcissists just on a higher level. Okay. When you're dealing with a narc, they're going to get you to a place where they stress your finances. They're going to press everything around you. And when they press your finances out, that's when you know you're near the end. Right there. That's when they try to they want to rip the rug right from up under you.
Yeah. See,
they're setting you up, and they're setting you up because they have another plan. And you look at what's going on in our country with the finances.
Yeah.
Everything is up in the air. Everybody's wondering what's next. It's going to be crazier than the last time y'all took us through. Because you remember the last time. That's all. This is another part of the cycle. This is another cycle that we're going through right now. So everybody is just gearing up, and it's like, wow, how can I enjoy myself when every day all you hear about is a catastrophe, and they're bombarding us every single day. And I'm gonna say this: when I stopped watching the news, I think it was back in 2006 or 2007, something like that. I stopped watching. I used to watch CNN every single day. I realized every single day, man, they never get on this screen and talk about good news. Never. Any of the news channels, right? So I just started watching. I was like, man, I'm tired of seeing this mess. Every day you walk out of here feeling like, man, what's going to happen to us?
Yeah.
And the whole time not knowing that's the plan. These evil entities, they want us to see nothing but darkness. Everything is dark. Everything is gloomy. And it's not.
Because they're trying to groom us to get used to it. All of this is just a setup for the higher powers to be able to get away with the stuff that they do. And we so distracted on the lower level that we ain't seeing it. And that society has enabled this behavior for forever. And it, like I said, it was designed for politicians and all of that to have an excuse for the crimes and stuff they committed, like Nixon and stuff like that. So this thing is not new. It's just that, everybody's starting to catch on now. And so there ain't no May. She subscribed when I was in the hospital. She's a domestic violence advocate, and she worked in the human trafficking division. And she says she teach in prison too. And she talk about narcissism, and she says she's going to watch this channel because she wants to learn more. So now it's starting to seep over into the domestic violence portion of it, which is good. And I'm happy for that because, if she could teach people how to get out of these situations, would be great. But these people are becoming more dangerous because they can't control you. And that was the situation. And I was easing out of this situation because I knew it for what it was. And he couldn't control me. He couldn't get me to argue. He couldn't get me to fight. He couldn't do anything. And I wasn't even in the devaluation stage because I didn't get the little disrespect and the subtle digs and all of that. It was like the way he was trying to sneak and control me, he couldn't do it. And so that was like teeing him off. And so he got to his breaking point. He thought the breaking up part was going to get me, and it didn't. And so when he saw that didn't work, then that's when he went to straight violence. So what I want to say to y'all, don't never let nobody tell you that there are lower level narcissists. They all are psychopaths, all of them. So just be very careful who you date, because that control and that power is everything to them, because the point is to control how you see them no matter what they do to you.
Yeah, and they have to steal your destiny like this. What they have released when they opened up the gates of hell, which they have, what they have released was such a materialized evil that is going to gravitate towards their dark hearts, because it's a heart full of iniquity. And we were just like, wrong place, wrong time, getting in the crossfire of that stuff. And they narcissistic parasites that can infiltrate and get on your brain. And the type of parasite this is, it make you not fearful of your predator. That's what it does to all the studies and the prey. It makes them to not put up their guard, not be fearful of their predator. They be around them. They become obsessed with them. Like in the studies, they even desire their scent. And these things probably smell horrible because a lot of them smell like death and everything else, but we don't see it because our perceptions get altered because they have those illusion, bewitching type of spirits. So our eyesight even get changed from these things. Like this is a serious condition. That's why people be sitting up there with Joe Fred up there, no teeth, no hair, no nothing, and they so in love, and they be looking like, well, how did they get with him? All of that stuff. That's why they got EPD, evil parasite disorder. Saying, putting it out there. I made that up, but that's what it should be called.
Hey, you know what? You were saying that, I was thinking that's something we didn't even see that at the beginning. It was there, but we didn't see it because we were so busy trying to be somebody's superhero.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We love being the superhero, man. You meet somebody and they just talk about how great you are and wow, are you really real?
Yeah. Once we say a yes and a transaction happen, because in Revelation they talk about selling the bodies and souls of men. It's some commerce happening. That's why them stars be flickering and doing stuff. Once the transaction happens, then everything changes on how we see them. Everything, like all of a sudden they are the most amazing person. We like the way they sound, all of that stuff. And every now and then we'll get some clarity because God be trying to work with us, pull us out of there. And we be like, you wake up like, what am I doing? You get those moments every now and then they put the fog if they offer you some food. Let's just go out to eat. I brought you something. That spells. You gotta stay away.
There you go. Hey, let me shout out my girl Patrice. Bang! Thank you for being a sponsor tonight, too, Patrice. Sig Thon. Thanks for that super chat. Sig Thon said, anyone notice this spirit of jealousy, competition lately? Jealousy, man. I don't know how you cannot notice the spirit of jealousy and competition going on out here. And you're right. You're saying lately, but you're right. It's going on and it's so strong. It's just like you just find yourself talking to people and you just like, wow. And it just starts showing up because now you hear what they're saying. Before you was walking past it. Now you hear it and it's like, whoa, your eyes no longer have that veil in front of them. Your ears no longer have the plugs in them. So now you can hear people and you can see them. Keisha, don't you know about right there? Yeah, can't have a conversation without someone trying to one up you or knock you down.
Yeah.
And what? Every single day you out here, regular people that you know. Again, now you hear it, you see it, you hear it, and you recognize it.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely got to recognize it in your home because that's the worst place that something like that can be, and it's in the home.
But you know what, Harry-O? Not all of them compete with you because a lot of them ain't trying to,
Why you say that?
Because this one, he never tried to compete with me. I think he didn't want nothing out of life. He didn't want to try to one up me. He just wanted to drag me down. That's all he wanted from me.
You said it. There you go, right there. You, and that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. We are so busy looking at something positive, and we're so busy trying to not see what's negative. Yeah, that's how all of them are, China. None of them really want nothing. They just don't want you to be more than them. Just be less.
You want to silence your voice, and because every time, God has been using you like so much. Like I've seen it from years ago to like now. Like I've seen how God been just reshaping and molding. So when God is putting so much and molding you and you helping others and your voice is being heard and people identifying with that and you doing what you are purposed to do, which is be a mouthpiece for God, because that's why they send Jezebel. Usually that person has a prophetic gift of some type. And when you're a mouthpiece for God, the enemy always wants to pervert and destroy it. And because those contracts were generational bloodline contracts, when a contract get free, he sends 7 more stronger. So how that would look for us, it's a more reserved narcissist. Like this last one was in the Bible all the time. Like, reading the Bible, deliverance minister, anything that you would probably want from a person, non-confrontational, very helpful, bought me a car, but with my own money that I didn't know. The swindling, I just couldn't see. So I couldn't see it because it was well hidden. They can cloak themselves well. They are shape shifters, okay? And so they cloak themselves very well. They can even hide the breath. They can even hide the breath for some time. But it's more it's more deadly with them. They try to take you out.
They're not, listen, we keep on waiting and looking for this devil to show up in a red jumpsuit with the horns and all that old crazy mess, man.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? The devil know that's what you expecting. Yeah. That's why they coming. That's why he come right to you in something that you love.
Yeah.
Yeah, you believe that, but that's not me. I'm right laying next to you. Yeah, that disguise you will never. You could have. You would have never thought. That's the devil. Ain't no way that's the devil.
Yeah.
No way. And then when you leave that thing, you leave it saying the opposite. Ain't no way that ain't the devil.
The first wife said that. The first wife was like, that's the devil. She kept saying it. The one whose son I had, she was like, oh my gosh, that is the devil. So
but you know what?
Be back in church, Eddie.
You call them that, they gonna agree with it. They know they evil. They know what they doing. They know they trash. And when I was getting my audio evidence on him, he's so dumb. He just really admitted everything. It's like a closed case right there. But when I talked to him, he told me that I became every woman in his life that did him wrong. I became his mother. I became his ex-wife. I became his baby mama, all the relationships. So he basically made me pay for the mistreatment that he received from his mama and his different relationships. But there's no accountability in there because he's the common denominator. So you are the person who caused these people to treat you this way. I'm sure these people weren't innocent because I wasn't, but these people drive you to that where you have to defend yourself in such a way that now they turn it on you and say it's abuse.
It is. Mm-hmm. And that's actually what, who's that? Corintha just said that. They're going to call you the devil.
Yeah.
And guess why? Because you see who the devil is right there. And the devil's job is to keep you confused. You the devil. Yeah, I know I just tried to unalive you, and I know I lied to you, I cheated on you, stole your money, tried to beat you up and everything else. But you the devil.
Yep.
You the reason. You made me do it. Guys, if you stay around it,
wrote a whole book about it in reverse. You the victim in your book. They published it and everything like that.
You listen. They're going to do you dirtier than you ever been done. Anything you've ever seen, you ain't never heard. And they still going to be the victim at the end of it.
Yeah.
You're not going to be the victim at the end of this, okay?
No.
I don't care what situation you done put yourself in, made yourself think that you are this, that, or whatever. You're not going to be able to be the victim because they are going to be the victim. It's going to be some sad story about their childhood, something that happened to them in their life that they can always reach in and pull them out of them crocodile tears out for. And then you sitting there listening and you watching and you in disbelief, like, this devil really selling this? And then you start feeling sorry for that thing.
Mm-mm.
You start feeling like, wow, that must have really been a hard life that you had to live to make you this terrible. That really must have been a hard situation you had to live through in order for you to be this rotten of a person.
Yeah, and they know that because this man literally, the police officer had to have me to send him all our text messages because this man literally erased every text message and tried to blame it on me. Said I'm lying. I said I was going to ruin his life. And the detective asked me, this was before he could press charges. He was like, he's here now. So I sent him all the text messages and everything. Actually, you had the advocate to do it, to go back in my phone and screenshot everything so nobody could say I deleted anything. And she did all of that and sent it over and texted him from her phone and told her that she did all that. And next thing I know, that's when he called me with that news and told me that man had a $25K cash only bail.
Yeah, that's how they.
And it's a whole lot because it take the children through things like seeing my son come to the hospital shaking and stuff. That was it, and he was just like, you smile a lot because I that's how I was, defense mechanism. But it's like you never know how much you're hurting everybody else because he was ready to do in like you just choked his mama. So it's like it be all of this stuff that the enemy puts in place to destroy not only you but the bloodline. Like it's always go back to that. And when you're dealing with them, you gotta really, once you get healed and delivered, you just bifurcate them because they gone address the spirit. Like that's what I had to do. Like I'm about to address Leviathan right now because he want to manifest with the reptile eyes. So I'm about to bind up that principality. I'm gonna apply the word of God because it is written. We got power over serpents and scorpions and all of that. It is written. Like whatever we bound on earth is bound in the heavens. It is written. When Christ came, what he did, he blotted out all of those contracts. He made a public spectacle of every principality, of every power. He went down there. He took them keys and he gave them back to us. So once you really start separating and understanding who you are in God, let a demon try you. The narc is irrelevant. Okay, they are irrelevant because I just straight bifurcate. That will keep the narcissist out of your life. Once you bifurcate them, they'll never forget it.
That's not true. You see what just happened with me. I couldn't get rid of that thing. And he sensed it. He knew it because he would always say, you want me to break up with you so you can have an excuse to do this and do that. He felt it. And he knew I was pushing him away and just trying to get him out my life. And he wouldn't leave and wouldn't stop coming around. And oh my God, just popping up. It's like just disgusting.
That's his thing is, it's so funny, that you say that. And that's really the direction you gotta go in to deal with them. Like, all right, you ain't gonna leave me alone. So how do what's my out on this? Because ain't nobody trying to be around this foolishness. And their genuine idea of a relationship is, hey, just let me keep doing what I'm doing to you. Sit here and take it. And when I get ready to come back to do it again, please be open and available for it. That's it. And it ain't no long, drawn out, hard story to figure out. A narcissist is in your life for destruction. They're not there to build anything. You know the relationship. They destroy it. You rebuild it.
Yeah, I'm in their mission.
Every narcissistic relationship, that's your role. You're going to be the person that puts it back together. They're going to be the person that destroys everything. They're just walking through the store, knocking stuff over, and you just picking it up, cleaning it up, because you want, hey, I don't want everybody to think that we crazy. And that, yeah, and the narc knows it. The narc knows they know how you feel. They know the position that you hold with them. They know that it is embarrassing to you to be the one in the worst relationship amongst your peers. They know. They are fully aware that this embarrasses you. So that's when it's going to keep you working harder and harder, trying to get this person. You're going to do so much work trying to get this person to just act normal. That's it. You ain't looking for nothing spectacular. You ain't looking for no Nobel Peace Prize from this person. You just like, man, can I just get you to be normal sometimes? Just sometimes. Can we go out and be amongst, normal people, and you act like a normal person, and you don't have to always show off, because a narcissist love, man. Oh,
you gotta have that attention. It's in the DNA. Okay, it's in there. The black stuff, the black gold is inscribed.
Listen, whenever they get a stage, when a narc gets a stage, or you listen, you better leave the theater. You better leave the theater, because when they get a stage, man, they gonna show out.
Yeah.
They are going to show. It's gonna be a standing ovation in that restaurant.
Yes.
Love it. They see the negativity and they do anything to cause the negativity. Y'all sitting in there getting something to eat. You chilling and you trying to be happy. You trying.
Yeah.
You trying to be happy.
Just get the food, like, okay, finally.
And they see you trying to be happy, and they also see that there's potentially something new in here for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, this whole date right here, it's about to go.
They'll ask a dumb question like, so did you let them play the game? You let them play the game, didn't you? Because you a soft parent. You sit there about to eat the food. You just got it. You've been waiting. Soon as you're about to eat it, you're like, I'm choosing not to engage with you. That's what I'm talking. You never let. That's how it go. And you in a restaurant like,
because
trying to like hurry up and eat. They snatch the plate. You like, okay.
Because he done found a target. He done found a target, and now he need a reason to get away.
Yeah.
Oh man, here you go with that. I'm right here in your face. See, that's what I'm talking about. You crazy. You crazy. And then they get loud. And then
they get loud.
Look over. Put on the show.
Yep. And that's why I
put on the show. And listen, it's going to be a show for everybody that think they want to hear, that they think they want to see. A narc is going to show up and show out. They're going to show off. And guys, again, for everybody that has this thought that they don't know what they're doing or that they're remorseful, is what we think. We on the way home with this fool, and we think they didn't really mean all that stuff right. They did. They didn't really mean it. No, they didn't really. No, you know what? Maybe I should have just not said nothing. I should have just kept quiet while they was flirting with the waiter or waitress. And got somebody else in the spot that they peeping and they trying to make their way to, and I should have just not said anything, even though they was disrespecting me. I should have just held it in and and just took it. Basically, you just convince yourself that it's your fault. That's the reason they showed out. And then y'all on the way home and they mad with you.
Yeah.
After they done dogged you out in there, they still got an attitude because they are the victim.
And then when you call them out on looking at somebody, didn't nobody say nothing when you was looking at that guy that walked past. They just make up, some stuff because everything you say they done, they say you've done. Yeah. You have done equally the same thing to them. They always blame you for something, always got an excuse, always justify what they do. They have to have a backup plan, especially when they know you don't care. They run back to them exes. And that's why I said I had that feeling that that's what was going on and that he wanted to try to get that little hoorah on his way out, and I didn't care. And that's what ticked him off because I think he went back to her. And they always use their kids and their baby mamas as an excuse to stay in contact, and then to keep you quiet in the background, because they like, well, she hear you, she ain't gonna let me see my kid. And then you don't want to be ghetto and speak up and be present in their life and stuff. So you just sit there. But I knew the game, I knew what was going on, I knew to try to get myself out of that situation. But with the things he had been saying, he wasn't making it easy for me. I couldn't even disappear, because if I did, this man, he stalked. Yeah, I tried the ghosting. I tried it all. I tried it all. And I cannot get away from this man. And then it just finally came to this.
Well, Keith, you know what?
They take them angels, I'm telling you.
You
They just like they daddy, the devil. He's the accuser of the brethren. That's what he do. He go up there day and night and accuse the same. He did this. Look what they did. Look what they did. They the reason why I'm bad. They the reason why I can't be up here. They the reason. They just like they daddy. When we take on a likeness is mentioned in the Bible a lot. We take on the likeness of Christ the more we renew our mind. Our DNA changes. There is something in our blood that is evidence that we have seen under microscopes, that your blood cells can change and be repaired by Jesus. The same thing happens with them when the more that they take on Jezebel, the more that they take on the devil, the more that they take on the angel of death, their DNA starts to change to cells of chaos, cells of wickedness. This is in their DNA, in their blood now. So and they're making more contracts. The more souls that they attack, the more that they hunt, the more witchcraft they do. That's why we can say, hey, that's a Jezebel, because they have taken on the likeness of that deity. That's who they become. It's in their DNA. Nothing they can do. If they have to be born again. But it's going to take a miracle, because their brain is broke. Once it go dark in that brain scan and it's dark in there, there's nothing firing. They have the capacity to love. They have the capacity to emotionally attach. They have the capacity to think right and make good decisions, to care about humanity. They have only the reptilian part of their brain, the back part, and what a name, reptilian, because they got the reptilian parasite. They have that part of their brain in operation. That is survival and sex drive. That's it.
That's all they got. At the end of the day, that's all they got. Thanks for that super chat. She said, man, and it's done on purpose. Oh my gosh.
They get energy, soul energy, sex magic, sex and blood. That's what they need to survive. They don't have life in the kingdom of darkness. So they get that energy every time somebody do that, because life is usually created, but some things happen in the spirit realm. They feed off that. They have to do that to their master, because he's a horrible boss. He's a horrible pimp. So they have to get as much as possible. And if they get in like negative fuel, that's on a different frequency than the fuel when somebody's happy and excited. But they got this bottom fuel they got to get with depression, with anxiety, with brokenness. They have to have multiple fuel sources, or they won't make it. Like they boss torment them. They can't sleep. They can't do nothing.
It doesn't work to have all of those fuel sources, because they drain them all. When people think they drain them, they drain them one at a time. No, they draining them all together. And that's why they never fulfill, because they talk to everybody on the phone every day. They text early in the morning. There's good morning. They send a copy and paste the text and send it to everybody that day. I mean, they just ping pong, because one person pissed them off. I'm sorry. They ping pong, go to this person. Oh, now you're mad at me. I'm going back over here. It's just back and forth all day long. That's all they know. That's all they do. If they could get something new, fine. They'll take it. Somebody that don't know them, but it's definitely easy to go back to something old, because they can wiggle their way back into that relationship due to history. And I don't believe in trauma bonds. I'm going to say soul tie that they have with that person. And they literally do have people that will sit and wait for them. They're going to always have somebody to run back to, because these people are dumb and they hate to see them move on. And that's why they do that triangulation stuff. I felt like he did with me and her, to get her to want to come back, because he knew I was getting ready to go. So he had to work that situation so he could triangulate her to
It's
get
an
her to come
assignment.
back.
He's sent to destroy her. He's already been destroying her. But if they can get somebody who was walking with God, if they can get somebody who was on that track or lukewarm or however, that person is like that energy that comes from that. It's like 1,000 of the ones that's on that low frequency. So they can have like 1,000 people they sleep with or however, and they wasn't trying to do anything with God. They just like them. Having that one that was righteous, that was trying to do that right thing with God, that type of source, they get so much fuel from that, from the enemy's camp, because they celebrate that. If they can get one of them to fall and temper that bloodline, the ones, the prophets and everybody that was supposed to be birthed out of that person, they get rewarded. That's why it look like they're doing so well, especially when somebody have what they call an empathetic or compassionate type of heart, because it's not too many mercy hearts. A lot of people are pretty wicked, but if they can get that mercy heart, that's why it looked like in Destiny Swap, it looked like they're just winning, winning, winning. But that all comes to a halt because God come for his. When he say the sheep wander off, one of them go all into the darkness, he lead them 99 and he go get that one and he bring them back. So they're going to have to answer for all that stuff because he come for his.
Definitely.
Because he came for me. I know he shut it down. He shut down kingdoms. I was like, okay, that's love. I got
Of
it.
course, I'm blessed to be here because Lord knows if the devil had his way, I would not be here. Y'all would have been having rest in peace all on the screen because that definitely is what he was trying to do. But God said, not today. He wasn't going to allow that.
It's not. You speak life every day, life over everybody that's on here. Life all the time. You know, we break out that spirit of death. No, the enemy is not going to get not one soul.
And again, that shows you who is in charge.
Yep.
That shows you that you already know if the devil had that option, he'd be clicking the button all day long.
Yeah.
It ain't his call to make. And nothing in your life is his call to make. And that's why I was saying earlier that, man, listen, they want you to think that it's just gloomy, it's doomsday. This is happening, that's happening. Oh my goodness, my money is dead or fell apart, and my relationship is in the toilet, and life is just so. That's how this devil wants you thinking all. That's why he send these booby traps at us, because he like, okay, I got a much better shot at this if the person you sleep with every night is bringing on most of this craziness. As long as they're keeping you in that madhouse, as long as they're keeping you in that energy, that low vibrational energy, everything about them is, I gotta suck you back down. I can't have you out here with this positive attitude, people.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying, guys, that's just like everything with us. You're gonna have your days. You're gonna have some craziness, guys. You have to understand. We go through the same type of craziness everybody else does. So I think we go through more. We go through more. But the thing is when your life sees adversity, that's when you get to know who you are. You get to know your true potential in life. You get to know because you're watching and you get to navigate through things. Yeah, you're going to be put in positions where you're just ready to give up. Like, good God, come on.
Yeah.
Why are you putting me through this, man? Come on, man. Yeah, it's designed. Sometimes we got to be uncomfortable, because when you're uncomfortable, if you're not disciplined, if we're not disciplined, and I know I am not disciplined. Good God, that's something I got to work on. So I have to deal with adversity. That's helping me become more disciplined, because it makes me say, wow, you know what? I'm giving power to things in my life that I should not, because I'm not disciplined. You know, I have certain things in my life that, you know, allow me to be lazy. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, it's certain things you want to accomplish before you get up out of here. And your window of time, guys, that's something that I think all of us play with. We play with how much time we have. And that window of time is not as great, it's not as big as we may think it is. It is not. So sometimes you need that adversity. Sometimes you need that adversity to help you become uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah.
To get your mind right back where it needs to be, to push you right back out there to be your best you.
See, but that's what people think. They think when they're comfortable that they're good. No, when you're comfortable, that means you're not good. You're not doing something right. The pot has to be stirred. So if any point in time y'all get comfortable, y'all need to get suspicious, because you just may be working with the devil. There's no comfortability as long as that devil exists. Never.
The Lord is always on, especially if you breed it with them. And the kids can be shape-shifting. It goes down, okay? When you breed with one of these things, oh my goodness, you really have to know spiritual warfare, because it trickle down to the children, even if it's 50-50 and God will have mercy. But when them things manifest, you got to see the change and you got to address it. But it's a lot to this. Like getting away from them, it seemed like, okay, I can finally breathe. That's when the battle begins. As soon as you decide I'm done. Because now they have to go recruit some more, and the kingdom of darkness is going to come for you. But you have to understand who you are. Like, God never sends us a narcissist. We got into there by wandering off into the dark waters. But what happens in there is that he will allow something to be that way to break something off. I had a lot of fear of speaking. I would always let them speak. And I had a lot of self-doubt. Even if I seen a spirit, like I was always fearful, like I don't want to be wrong, or I don't know if that's really what's going on. And people can talk me out of things easily. So there was a lot of stuff in that narcissistic bloodline. I was still enmeshed in that stuff. So it was a lot of different things that was holding me bound from what God wanted me to do. So I had to go through that stuff, see for real somebody as straight turn reptilian stuff, deal with all of that to understand that there are other forms of life amongst us in human form, in human bodies. And I had to understand how to fight that. So God had to take me to a whole different level in deliverance when you're dealing with this type of evil, because it's everywhere. It's in our governments, our organizations. I mean, this has been a design program for the evil times that we in. That Venom movie, like that's really in them people. Like they have been taken over. And it's a lot with that. I just did a talk on it. I'll share it, like send a link. I'll send a link to you, Hario, when we become available, because we did it amongst like some doctors and them. But it's really some stuff here that they have literally taken over people's bodies, and it's harmful to humanity. But the ones in leadership, they're going to make very wicked decisions, and we just have to understand that our God is way more powerful than any of these systems that they have on this earth. He always shuts them down. They get shut down all the time, and we just go through history. Biblical days, shut down. The early hundreds or whatever, shut down. All of that. He reset the whole timeline. God did that.
Well, you got to think about it like this. This devil ain't never created anything that has purpose in this world. Nothing. He is originator of nothing. So when you haven't originated in anything, that means that you don't build anything that lasts forever, because you don't have a level of knowledge. And that's really what all of this boils down to. When you look at things like they say, talk about the pyramids and where the pyramids are placed on the planet, how they're placed in a perfect position. And you have to have a higher level of mathematics to be able to position and be as precise as these buildings that were crafted have been put. You know, you have to have a level of knowledge in order to create something that's everlasting. So when you're in a place where when you're dealing with an entity that is only about death and destruction,
Yeah.
then that's all they know how to do. That's all this world is good for right now. That's all the leader of this world. That's all leading in craziness, disaster, chaos, unruliness. That's it. He said that's all that they can. That's all is being done right before our eyes, and we sitting here trying to normalize it. Y'all think we watching how the government just acting a fool, and we trying to figure out, okay, so how are we going to normalize this, and don't even realize it. Like, okay, they want us all worried up about your money, about where you're going to live, about what you're going to eat, what you're going to do. They want us worried about everything. Why they want you worried? Because what you don't think about, what we don't even think about, is that when somebody's worrying you about something, that puts your whole body at dis-ease. Everything about you it's in a stage of dis-ease. Dis-ease.
Yeah, it's fear. Fear attacks your gut, your kidneys.
See it, and you don't know that you're in dis-ease. That means that dis-ease is attacking and eating away at you in places and in ways you're not even aware of. You're not even thinking that, wow, I'm really traumatized by the situation that's going on out here. And I'm just trying to, decompose. I'm trying to de-stress it, get my mind back together, and I'm going to make this into a positive. That's how we, guys, like it or not, that's who we are.
Say disease fast and you get disease. This is exactly how disease works. I mean, most of the diseases we get that you can't really isolate to a bacteria or something, it comes from a weakened immune system. Cortisol does that, extra excretion of cortisol from fear, anxiety, and stress. That is one of the main complexes that will attack your body each and every time. The root of a lot of disorders, high blood pressure, all of that stuff is fear, anxiety, and stress. Inflammation, blood vessels inflamed, all of that. And when you have all of this fear coming at you, your parasympathetic system shutting down, so you're not going to sleep because you're in fight or flight. That's a sympathetic nervous system type of move. So now your gut, you might have IBS, you might have migraines, you might have definitely have anxiety, fear, and all of this other stuff, and shakiness and things of that nature. But you're not in a state of healing. When you sleep, then everything slows down. The parasympathetic shuts down. Your body starts to heal and repair itself. So you're not having those healing moments. It's just tear down, fight, flight, go, go, go. So everything is out of disarray, and then disease happens. Because once the bacteria come, bacteria has its purpose, everything has its purpose. But once that start getting in the body and your immune system can't take it out, that's how people get sick and stay sick. Like, this stuff is so crucial, so much of an attack to the body. But the mindset has to be transformed to a mindset of plentiful, not scarcity. Like, there's always resources. God can grow a tree out the ground, but they want people to live in fear. They want people to make irrational decisions. They have a plan. If people really, really knew, there is a gene that they have targeted, CCR5. It's a gene. And they had a plan. They took the fetal cell lines out of them twins that was cloned. They had some entity DNA, Nephilim type of DNA, and they did some things to it, black magic stuff, we'll just call it that. And that was supposed to be injected, slice our DNA and delete that specific gene. And that gene, if they would have done that, it would have took out so many people. Like, it was so crazy. Like, it's so crazy when you think about what they did, because that gene was inherited.
But You know what? I want to look at. We keep on saying they.
The reptiles. I would just call them the reptilians.
In our face, every single devil, right in our face.
The kingdom of darkness.
To us next. You know, like that daggone Dr. Fauci. That's a devil, man.
His name means reaper. Anybody looked it up in Latin? They tell you what they do. Bill Gates, who's the gates? We got the gates. Our bodies is the gates. Angels and stuff like the ladder. When Jacob seen the angels going up and down, we are now the body and angels and stuff. This is how they transfer from the spirit realm. We are the gates. He gave us the keys to our bodies. We open them up when we deal with all of this other stuff, witches, warlocks, narcissists, sociopaths, psychopaths, any of their agents. Our gates are open to darkness.
I'm trying to tell you, they right there. And the thing that is so fascinating to me is how they're able to go and do shows right in front of people and tell people what we anticipate this new disease. How do you anticipate?
They don't even care anymore. They call it X. X is 6, like it's 60 in Greek. Like they actually, everything is 6. Like graphene is 6, got 6 hexagonal. Everything is their number, you know. So they really pretty much just tell you what they're doing.
The number,
the EM guy, the Tesla dude, he told everybody he an alien. They just don't want to believe him. So it's to the point where people just want to believe a lot, and we just have to stay strong. We have to, you know, nourish our bodies. We have to get rid of the heart. That decay.
Holy, you see last week that that video of the supposedly people are on the moon. Listen, y'all. I'm guilty. I was guilty. I used to believe in all that. You know, we don't travel to the moon, and it's people out in. We got people in satellites, you know, in space. I used to believe in all of that fairy tale.
They got kingdoms.
And then it started because, see, you know how your mind works? This is how your mind will work on you. Like, wow, they got satellites in outer space. So it'll keep you from doing certain things because you're like, wow, they can see me from outer space. But they never catch nobody with the cameras that's supposed to be out of space. They can read from a satellite a newspaper article in another country from outer space, but you can't tell us why and what's going on and all this crime, and you can't do nothing to stop none of it.
They don't want
satellites though, and we actually believe it.
They actually did with the George Floyd thing. The 911 dispatcher looked on the satellite and saw it in real time because she was like, he stood on his neck so long she thought it was frozen. But they actually can see the crime when it happens. They even also have it where, like, I could go outside and shoot my gun in the air and they can find my location. They have a lot of technology now.
I'm calling cap on that. I'm calling cap on it because there would not be crime if they could do that.
They feed off crime.
It
goes to their kingdom.
If we can prove every criminal that actually committed a crime, then why can't we talk about who did what to OJ? Where was that same camera at with OJ?
They know what they do. They feed off of that. That was a whole
stuff. Hold up. What about the rest of them? If they know no, they don't know. That's a lot. And okay, let me take you here. What exactly is powering those spaceships that are in orbit indefinitely?
They have opened up the kingdoms have merged. Okay, this is what we're dealing with in spiritual warfare. When we cross over from medical to the deliverance side, these kingdoms, you had you got earth, wind, and fire. They had the group. You got the water kingdom, the kingdoms on earth. You got the underworld, and you have the celestial kingdom. CERN, key player, been powering up stuff, giving the sacrifices. Went over there. They got the book from Nimrod, Solomon, all of them, and they got these ancient spells they've been doing, and they have literally merge the kingdoms. So all of those powers are just interchanging and interacting with the earth right now. That's why they keep saying the magnetic field is shifting and all of this stuff. And they're here. They have channelers at every meeting. That's how they get down.
They selling us a bunch of you know what, because we've been buying it from day one. Ain't nobody challenging nothing. They saying, "Ooh, another spaceship gone into outer space." How does spaceship get out there? Yeah, we can see how it gets out there, but how does it blast back into the atmosphere?
The spaceships are not rockets. That's not what they're doing. It's not they out there floating in it. That's not how that's working.
Point I'm trying to make. That's the point I'm trying to make. Ain't nothing up in the sky you can just grab hold to and just we're gonna sit something right here in this location. It's gonna stay right there and just watch the planet.
Anybody notice how many eclipses we've been having?
That Star Wars stuff. Now they got Star Wars out there. They got missiles and stuff like that out there.
Right. It's a war.
All these other countries they're scared of this mess, and it's like
they should be.
Okay, right. How is this stuff just rotating around the earth? How is it doing that? What is it? What's powering it? Gas?
No, these are entities. This is how this works.
I'm saying real talk. What powers those satellites and those stations that are out in outer space? What powers them?
You got something called the
What powers somebody to be able to sit on the moon for 3 to 6 months? Didn't they say they was in outer space for 6 months?
They have to be non-human to do that, and some of them are. But some of them are non-human. But you have to. These are ancient entities. There's a deity called the God of Technology, but they literally. This is how the kingdom works. This is the spirit realm. The quantum is the spirit realm. They just opened up the spirit realm. That's what they're tampering with. That's why now it's not just a bunch of wicked stuff happening. God's angels is on assignment. They are stacked around the believers, like his angels.
Yes, they are.
And
they cover people.
Let me go here with my logical self. You know, I like to try to be logical, but because this kind of stuff really irks me when we watching these people just feed us anything, and when you believe anything, that's why we seeing anything. So we're to believe that, you know, now that these people went into outer space and they were able to stay there for this whatever amount of time, and that they got us with it's no gravity in space. They got us with that one, right? So now everybody thinking, oh, they must be in space because it ain't nothing holding. The planet ain't pulling them down, right? God, that's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. They don't have no proof of that. There's nothing mathematical about anything they showing us that they claiming that they're doing. We sending people up and we're doing this, and these people are. That's a lie, man. And the reason that I'm really pushing this issue right now is because when you believe that somebody has that kind of power or that level of knowledge, then you believe anything they tell you. They like, well, I showed you a spaceship. We sent it into outer space. You didn't see the people come back. You didn't see what we did. We don't know anything about anything that's supposedly going into outer space. With all the technology that we have, then Elon Musk, he's supposed to be putting the first spaceship, and they're gonna send stars and everybody like that out there to it, right, to this moon or whatever. Anything that is germane to this atmosphere, guys, you can only breathe air if you're from this atmosphere. You from this planet. When you from another planet, I don't care what planet you from. It ain't the same.
Oh, the planets don't exist.
Huh? No, the planets are habitats. These deities, God locked them up. When he put the vault and he wrapped it with clouds, that was second heaven. He locked that up. He shut it down. These things used to be worshipped in them temples, Athena temple and all of that stuff. He shut it down. He said he made a public spectacle of the principalities. Those are called arcanes. That's what they're trying to merge people with. When psychology say know your archetype, Jung, all of them, they were occultists. That they were merging like venom, merging these archaic ancient beings with a body. They are disembodied spirits, but they come to earth all the time. They just can't, they have certain regions. They have to have there's certain gates. Like you have some mountains over there that they can go to, but they're limited. They want to expand, but they're limited.
If they can breathe the air here, we can breathe the air there. It got to be the same.
Right? It's different. They need a body. They don't breathe like we do. Like the one things they saying are aliens are not aliens. These are deities, but they have a different kingdom. There's a water kingdom. There's an underworld kingdom. There's hollow earth. Like these are kingdoms, and people like I was brought up. I guess I was trained to somehow be in this water kingdom stuff. So I know about this marine kingdom, and it took a lot to come out of that. This is like bloodline stuff. So it's a kingdom there under the sea. The Bible talk about it. He say the inhabitants of the earth, the ones in the sky, he say the sea under the sea. So under the sea is some technology we've never seen here on earth. This is Atlantis.
That's my point right there. A fish. A fish?
This ain't fish. This is mermaid. It's a whole civilization under the sea.
Has to breathe in the water. He has to breathe in that water. When I jump in that water, I can't do it. And that's all I'm saying.
You got a certain bloodline. This is what'll happen. You'll go in the water. An entity will come to you. And it's certain portal openings though. Like it's like Lake Victoria over by Uganda. It's certain places by the Atlantic, Bermuda. Like it's certain areas where they have a opening, and an entity will come in. They do rituals. This is things they have been training you since birth, doing rituals, doing sacrifices. Then a entity will come and breathe their essence into you, and that will repeatedly happen until you're able to do it on your own. That's how people can shapeshift that were born human. But they also have places like you go in and you get in a vortex, and then you're in a dry place. Like there's what God did, like there's no water for them. Like even though they're water spirits and they're under the ocean, the place under there is dry. And then they have little ponds and stuff, but it's not like they're just in the ocean. So when somebody go there, because a lot of people in this occult things go there, rappers, artists, all of that, they go to a certain portal opening, they do a certain ritual, and then they get to the vortex and they go to that kingdom. Yeah, and this happens so frequently, but we have to know, because the number one defense keeping this earth the way it is the church, not the organizations of the church, but each person that is a believer that God is able to use through humanity. That's what's keeping this stuff at bay, because we have power over that. He gave us authority over all the kingdoms.
Go ahead.
That's why the narcissist came, because the narcissist came to disarm that power to get somebody in the Lulu, ziggity boo.
Everything. They said, y'all build it, we gonna destroy it.
Yes.
Rockwell Sophia. Thanks for the super chat. Rockwell said, death and life are in the power of the tongue, y'all. You hear that? Mm-hmm. And they that love it will eat the fruity of it. The fruity of it. I gotta look that one up. Proverbs 18:21. We speak life over our lives. There you go. Yes. There you go. We speak life over our lives, because at the end of the day, we've already been told that a day and a time is coming that will make even a baby turn into a gray-haired old man. They're gonna see things that are just so far out there. And as y'all can see, that's exactly what we got going on out here right now. Deidre Jones, thanks for the super chat. She says, I somewhat got closure. After a year of no contact, he called my job telling me how miserable he is. Wow. And asked, can he come home, baby? Can I come home? I miss you so much.
My family back.
You go, China. We hear it. I just want my family back.
Like, your family, please, though. I know I made a mistake, baby. Please.
They got a demonic script. Like, okay, I'm supposed to say that.
Baby. Said we be thinking they're happy and they're not. Listen, y'all. Again, thank you, Deidre. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate the people can come back and say, yeah, because Deidre was saying she's basically telling us. Okay, the fruit, not fruity. Okay, thanks, Lisa. Basically,
NASA means to deceive. Somebody said debate with NASA. The name means deceive. That's what that name means.
Okay.
Because they use Latin and stuff. So they put it in the name, everything that they're doing.
Okay. Lady Virgo said
it's a snake tongue on
there. Yeah, she right about that. But yeah, we always thinking like that. We always thinking that, yeah, they somewhere just living life, and life is just so, they got it together. And especially when you don't hear from them for a while, you be thinking, oh, they must have got it together.
I thought that a lot.
They ain't never get it together. When you thought you were happy with them, when you know you were not happy with them that whole time, that's all they've been doing with somebody else.
Yeah.
Just taking them through the whole road. They got to go back uphill, downhill, go sideways, backwards, upside down, flip flop. They got to go through the entire situation because, again, there is no peace to be found with these people, guys.
Nah.
There is no peace. You will not find peace. You will not find happiness. That's not who they are.
They serve chaos.
And they
create chaos.
They did not run to some. That's one thing I want y'all to hear tonight. Ain't nobody left you to go be with somebody that's just like you.
Exactly.
Guys, and guess what? The person that they ran to, they trying to be just like you. They trying to love them more than they ever been loved before. They trying to show them this is the way. I'm the best thing that ever could have happened in your life. That's what they're trying to show this person. And guess what? When a narc see that, they I gotta go get another one. Look at you. You doing the same thing everybody else did. You want to be love. You want to hold hands. You want to be all tired. Nobody want to do all that. A narc is not in a relationship for love, y'all. That's what everybody who thinks it, that's what you got wrong. They were not there for that lovey, gushy feeling. And, it's just me and you against the world, baby. And I just love you. No, that's not who they are. That's not where they're going with this.
It's
not.
Anybody try to love a demon? They hate love represent Christ. His name is love. They hate God. They hate his creation. The more you try to be kind and loving, and the more you look like God, they hate you even more because they liable to set you on fire with that stuff. That's how much hate and rage they have built up on the inside. That was an act. They can act because they know I'm going to hurt this person. So I'm going to give them all of this love bomb. Yeah, I'm doing this. I'm feeding them this. I can't wait till they fall. That's how they thinking when they doing all that stuff, going here and there with you and holding your hand. They thinking, I can't wait until I tell them my secret. Man. I'm about to hurt them. Ooh, they're going to be crying. Look at their face. That's what they think.
And the funny part about it, to relieve themselves of guilt, and by them knowing that they're going to do this to you, they tell you. They're like, well, I hurt people and I've been this, I've been done that. They starting to do that now. So now when you stick around, I told you I do this. I told you I did that. They don't want to be judged off because now they can't even hold the line as long. I give them total 2 months where they can pretend, and then that mask still slip, in between. Then you just got to be able to catch it. But these people cannot hold a relationship now. Their life is a traveling circus and we're just the rest stop. Once you come off the road, you got to take a break. And that's all we ever are to them because they like the trash that's out there on the streets. They like drinking and drugging and sex and all of that. And that's why they run. And they mainly will discard you if you're onto them. And the purpose of that is to let enough time go by so that they can come back into your life. And if they gone longer, that's because they know they done something really, really dirty that you're going to have to get past. And they hate for you to see them in a different light, especially if you catch them cheating. Because they stand like they got principles. I'm not a cheater. I would just leave.
Yeah.
I'm not going to cheat.
They say that up front.
Here's their favorite one. I would leave you before I cheated on you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Woo, good God. Let me just help y'all out with that part.
Yes.
They lied.
They cheat. They lie the way we speak English. It's their native language. They just like they daddy the devil. If Jesus said it, they just like they father the devil. We need to believe them red letters. They just like they father the devil. You think that tree of knowledge wasn't lighting up? Them things glow. They probably had the glow party going like Eve. Come on, up to the tree. Up to the tree. Going up.
Yes, indeed. Bonnie.
And all of that stuff. Eve was like, I just want to take a bite. Come see how we sing.
Good evening, NASA, AK. Never a straight answer. Guys, we've been had. I'm telling you, we have been had.
A logo is the snake tongue. Look at the logo. It's a snake tongue. They the deceivers.
I believe it, man. Because, like I said, man, we just believe it. When you believe that somebody got the power to go outside the planet and go out there and play, and they've been they shot something, a satellite to Mars, and you know how long it take to get to Mars?
They don't even know. Mars came to us.
To get to Mars.
Mars came to us. Did you not see the planetarium march?
The planets and yeah. Okay. Tell us how y'all did it.
Nobody questioned that stuff. I said so. Let me get this straight. All the planets are in the atmosphere. Like, shouldn't it be like oceans and tsunamis? Like, if all the planets are in the atmosphere, they had the planetarium march.
You know what? You know how? One of the reasons that I'll say that all of that stuff is capped, because you ever notice every planet they get on, except for the planet Earth, the background look exactly the same. It looked like a big barren desert, and it looked like it's always dark, right? In the background, it's dark. Where the sun be at? But it be light.
It's energy. If somebody
got a satellite outside on Earth, when you can in the daytime, it's clear. Wow, it's daytime over there right now. And every place else that they've gone is totally barren. No trees, no water, no life. Do they got a different kind of water on different planets? I don't know, because I ain't never been there.
No, they don't. If you look at
nobody on this planet. They lying, man. They just telling us anything. No, we got astronauts who just sitting in outer space, and they've been sitting on the space station and for 6 months. For 6 months, y'all had to use the bathroom with no gravity and all of this other kind of stuff that we doing and hold it. The aircraft has gravity in it though.
It's portals. Everything is portal transport now.
Everything, the principles that they build and all these lies on, and they all based on the fact that nobody's even questioning any of it. We just look and see what we saw. And even though it might have some inconsistencies with it, we still just look at it like, well, I ain't never been there, so I can't question it. And that's how this devil look at it. Man, you don't know because you ain't been there. How you gonna tell me what it look like on Mars and you ain't never been to Mars?
You know why? People believe it and don't question it because the lie is repeated. See, and people don't have the common sense to pick up a Bible. A Bible is not being advertised. The truth is not always just being advertised. The lie has to be advertised. And that's why people are believing that lie. And God just said, I'm going to take this and I'm going to sit this right here. He don't have to consistently keep telling us about nothing. It's in a book. And this
Everything is
one book is outpowering everything, but everybody choose to believe the lie because it's being repeated to them. Once you repeat something, it seems like the truth. And so that's why they're believing it.
It's
Nobody,
don't nobody challenge it.
no,
they
nobody wants
following
to,
they
but
script.
God knows that everybody is trying to change what he have done with all of this. And that's why you never know the truth until you leave here. And that's where you will know if these planets existed, if dinosaurs existed. And that's just how God works. You won't know the truth
Amen.
until you leave here.
They are realms. Like there is a realm, a spirit realm that's a red sky. They probably call it Mars, whatever, but everything is distorted. Like these are realms. And if people who done like soul travel or just who was caught up in, I just happen to be caught up in that stuff. And it's a whole different type of demonic warfare. Like some of these realms, the red sky, you see the demons are like materialized. That's how I was able to see the snake going in his back and seeing a water spirit and stuff. That's a red realm. There's a blue realm, like a blue sky. There's different realms. There's a water kingdom. You go under the water. I literally seen them taking a teenager into like a submarine thing, some mermaids. And it's for warfare. But if your bloodline, like I had Eastern Star and all of that stuff in the bloodline, if they made contracts with these kingdoms, they come for their generation, especially if their generation has a prophetic anointing on their life, because that means they're sensitive to the spirit realm already. So you get taken out of your body and sleep. You go to the second heaven, and second heaven, it was just like some gray mist. But I just always was fighting to get back. But there are these realms, and that's what God was talking about when he was saying the principalities, the powers, the rulers, they call archons. These are different kingdoms in this earth. Then you got wickedness in high places, and you got forces of darkness, spiritual wickedness in high places, principalities and powers. That's what our fight is against, not against the people, flesh and blood. The narcissist is taken over by an archon. That's a ruler spirit.
Is the one hiding behind the curtain.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we bind up those archons. We have to know who we are, whose we are, and how to fight this fight, especially now because they've materialized. You have shapeshifters now. They've made bodies. When they did their cloning stuff, they have a lab under there, underground. All of our medicine starts underground first. And they're trying to get people to have decay on the inside of their body because they are death and decay. And if the more that you decay yourself and dehumanize yourself, the more an archon can come in. As soon as you abandon that moral compass, they can hijack your body.
And that's the plan. That's why food is so high, because they trying to break people like us to get to the point where we feel like we have to do something illegal just to eat. Because that's a damn shame when eggs are $10. You know?
I saw a sign yesterday. Now I don't know how real it was, but I think my man showed something in Costco. I think it was Costco. I ain't sure. Don't quote me on it, but he showed me a sign that said $29 for, and I think it was for a case of eggs. I hope it was for a case of eggs.
And why are they messing with the eggs so much? Like that should be the main question, because it don't even. They trying to get people feared up for what they gonna call bird flu, but all of these are engineered disorders because they didn't delete the cell, the gene. They actually spiked a lot of variations. So now they're like scrambling because they want the population to go away, and so they have to now they got to do more poison, more toxin.
How do they want the population to be smaller? Because
500,
too many people to control right now.
Georgia Guidestones. Remember those?
Do
y'all remember the Georgia Guidestones?
No.
That just mysteriously blew up. They was in Georgia. The Midnight Train of Georgia. There's a song. There's a reason for that going on in Georgia. But it's something called the Georgia Guidestones. They came out in the 80s. Some strange person called R.C. Christian was supposed to have made those, and they had these commandments on it. And that's what they going based on. And those stones said get the population under 500 million. They said be true to nature, don't have diversity. Like everything that they're saying is the UN Sustainable Goals for 2030. So they're following their script. What we gotta do is we got our own commandments. We got the authority. We gotta just use it.
Yeah.
Everybody on here who was attacked by a narcissist is because of the powerhouse that's inside of you.
Yes, sir. Yes,
This is it. This we the remnant. We the army. I mean, we might look casual, but we got a fight in us. We know when we see a narc demon.
At this point, we don't have another choice. But
Right.
the biggest issue has been the biggest issue with us is we want to see. We don't want to see what is really being what it is. We want to see it as, nah, it's not this bad. Nah, it ain't. This devil ain't really the devil. The devil ain't as bad as we was told, or we want it to be better. We want to feel like we can help it. We can save it. And I personally believe that that's why we're here. We're here to prove that you can't save a devil.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot fix this devil. Because God ain't fix it. God gave him a free will just like he gave us. And that devil has chosen exactly what he's going to do the entire time and been doing it. And I must say, he doing a good daggone job. He doing a wonderful job. Oh my goodness.
They be checking out that narcissistic stare. And they call it like the narcissistic. That's them swapping. They be checking out and checking in. That's changing shifts. Okay. Hey, demons got to change shifts. My son was even saying the ex would go in there and just stare, just be in a fixed standing state, staring at the kids, just staring, even at his own. And he would destroy his son, life, his teenage son, but just sitting there staring, probably thinking of all the different ways that they are going to destroy you. That is how sick of a man that they have. Like, we can't really think of them the way that we think of our own feelings and try to come at them from a humanity standpoint. They are not like that at all. They have not like that at all.
Because they're selfish.
Them.
They don't care about nobody's feelings but their own. And that's the root of everything for them, is the selfishness. Yeah. It's all about them. And if you're not on their side, you're against them, and you become public enemy number one. They go beyond resenting you. They start to hate you because they cannot take constructive criticism. They take it as an attack. They feel like you're attacking their character, and that you see them as trash because they see themselves as trash. They don't see no good in them. That's what their low self-esteem is. It's not about their looks. It's about who they are as a person. And they know that they are trash in what they did to their victims. They know they've done a lot. And then for you to see it, it induces hatred in them because they think you see it through their eyes because of what they're doing to you. Nothing is never good on the other side. They just change victims. That's what y'all need to understand. Because that cycle is going to repeat itself because they are who they are. I remember telling that man that, and he went off. And that's how you know who he is. Because I said, you are who you are. And that could have meant different things. But he know who he is. And that took him to a boiling point. So these people know they're not happy. They just getting a new start, was hoping somebody, either an old person that they tricking again, or a new person that they trick and they prefer new, because that person truly, honestly don't know them. But now it's getting harder and harder for them to gaslight and manipulate people. So they run it back to their past where it's easier. So don't never think that they running somewhere to be happy. They're never happy. They can't produce happiness. They can only drain it from somebody because they don't know how to help somebody maintain it. It's never happy on the other side. They go in and drain that.
Yeah. Now I went with a whole young child, young like his own child, and that's what they go to, and cross culture and all of that, because they want somebody who they can control like a slave. If they can be a slave master, oh, that's the best. They can tell a young person anything and cheat on them with their friends, everybody cheating, everybody doing all that, and they can, do all the stories because a person may not know yet to that extent the kind of evil that's out there. So they just trying to figure this thing out. But if they get a seasoned narcissist, ooh, that is, oh my goodness. I don't even have a gun.
You gonna be sorry.
Oh, wait.
It's
gonna be worse than silly on the color purple. Woo.
You know what? A lot of people always say, why don't they just leave instead of cheat? They don't leave because they don't want you with nobody else. That's the whole goal. That's why they don't leave. They need you. They rely on you more than you think. They pretend to walk away and act like you don't exist. They think about you all the time. They got to make sure you don't get too far. They got to make sure you don't become healed because they need you. They rely on you. They're not going to let you see it. And they just want to cheat in peace. But the thing is, they don't want, like, they don't do poly because you get to sleep with somebody else. So that's why they don't do it. They want you for themselves. They literally own you in their eyes. You are theirs and only theirs. And they want to have everybody else, but you cannot sleep with nobody else. They will go berserk.
They're going to lose all of it. Lisa, yeah. Thanks for that super chat. Lisa said, nothing happens unless the Most High allows it. Even the devil has to ask permission to do anything. Ask Job.
Yep.
Yeah. I remember that time I left my first husband. He was a narcissist. I came home, just coming home late with the kids, getting off work, all of that. This dude was sitting up in my daughter's bedroom. Mind you, we already got divorced. This dude then climbed up in there, t-shirt, shorts, Timberlands, and fell asleep. I guess fell asleep because we got there late. Then broke in the house, sleeping in my daughter's bedroom. I'm like, is that y'all dead? Oh my, ready to fight, but he fell asleep. He fell asleep because they up long enough. So I was like, I gotta report this dude. He done broke in the house. How you gonna break in somebody's house and fall asleep at the scene of the crime? That's what these narcs do.
They do that.
And
because
like,
they feel they're entitled. Once you let them into your life, they entitled to everything you own. Everything you have is theirs. Your apartment, your life, your children, your car, your money. Everything is theirs. That's that entitlement. They come over and they take over.
He was like, I know you're sleeping with somebody. We ain't together. Like, what is you broke in my house? Like, I know you're cheating. I know you. I just know it. So you have out the way where you was at to break into my home.
I hope I never see nothing like that right there. Boy, oh boy, that would not end well. Especially at this stage. Like, yeah, you done had like 5 years to get it together. Hey, we, like they say, they come back 20, 30 years later. Still,
I miss you. I just want my kids. I'm like, your kids grown. I can't help it.
Nobody had never have access to me where they could send me a I miss you text. I'm about to change my number again. I'm just waiting for this election to end, and this number is gone again. It's just me.
Listen, y'all. Let me tell y'all something about China and them changed numbers. I don't even say China number no more. Okay, I don't. I just wait for the newest text. This China. When I search for China's number, I go to my text. There ain't no other way I'm gonna. Because I'd have about 20 numbers in there by now. It just don't have no way.
Well, at least you got the heads up this time.
It's
all good though. It's all good. Hey y'all.
They go through. I seen somebody on here that said they was with the pastor, and he stopped them from singing. Pastors love the devil love to cloak pastors, these narcissist pastors, because they attack people. One that have the prophetic and one that are worshipers. Your worship is your strength. So when you can sing, they love to attack that, because that is how you connect with God, through the worship, through the singing. So a lot of times people can sing pretty good, that's been, survivors of this, because that devil wants to silence that worship. They want to silence that voice, transfer the worship to the narc. That's the end goal. And they get more dangerous. And the religious ones, the ones that seem like a godly man, whether they are in leadership or not, those are the worst ones. Because how can you, and this came out of one of their own mouths, like somebody who was giving a testimony on a different channel, but how can you say the name of Jesus and still be as wicked as you are? That takes a very powerful demon to do that, or demonics. It's an unclean spirit, because not all of them are demons, but that takes a very powerful, unclean, evil entity, a strong man, Leviathan, pretty much, to be able to speak the name of Jesus. That's Antichrist. And when you're dealing with that one will try to end your life all the time, or destroy the children. If they hanging around, it's probably because it's some children in the house that they still have an assignment to destroy. They're not hanging around for love. They'll go to counseling. They'll say they'll change. They'll go to deliverance. They'll even shake and vomit and act like demons are coming out. But they're not. They're coming in. And they are there to destroy. The children usually will have some anxiety, nightmares, stomach problems. When the children start complaining or they start being different, my teenager went to the psych ward. During that time I was married to him, he had to go to the psych ward. He never had to do that. Most of this high school, until I got the divorce, until it was finalized, because that came with them. Mental illness, legion, and all of that comes with them, and your children will be affected. The assignment is not always you. You're just the one that they have to use to get to those children and offspring, and they offload those demonic spirits to destroy them. And it's horrible, because they get stronger for the next generation. Like, their fight is extremely strong because of decisions, not just from us, but decisions from our ancestors. Like, this thing goes really deep. But stay away from them religious ones, because they in the spirit realm. When they temper the spirit realm, that's they got different
their second chance. That's the second chance for the narc, for this devil, to destroy your future.
And they speak things, and because they in that spirit realm like that, and they know how it works, those things come with some force. Like those word curses, it takes a lot to try to fight those, and you can't fight it still being in it or still having a heart of intent to consider it. Because God look at the heart. You can be like, I don't want them, I'm done, I'm really done this time. But in your heart, you thinking, if they just act right, or if they see, I'm gonna see how much time I can give it for them to get it together. If your heart is still having a little bit of toxic hope, it ain't gonna work. You're gonna stay bound. You gotta really make up in your mind that this person, they meet in these criteria, check marks, not gonna change. They are who they say they are. They are possessed, and they are out to terminate me.
They trying. Well, look, y'all, we done ran into overtime, as we usually do, because that's how we do it. So, again, what's the assignment, ladies? Come on, give them their assignment. Give them something they can hold on to till next weekend. Make it happen.
Yeah, I would like to give them, it's springtime, so spring into new life. So when everything comes alive, so do the same for yourself, and understand that we are in a war that's a fixed fight. So you want to live, you want to have life, and you don't want to just have just a life of ordinary stuff or stress or all of that. You want to have a life of abundance. We are promised that. Like, we don't have to wait until this is over before we can have peace, love, joy, abundance, and speak prosperity and all of that in our lives. We can have that now, but you can't have life attached to something that's dead or decaying. It doesn't work that way. It's just like a bad tooth. It'll start rotting all of the good teeth until you have none. Like, decay is fast. It's insidious, but it's fast when it starts working in that other stuff. And you don't always notice it until it's a little bit too late sometimes, especially when it comes to the teeth. But you got to look at it like that. You can't be connected to that. Even in Old Testament, he said, don't be touching dead bodies. When you're dealing with a narcissist, they are spiritually dead, which means it only takes time for that to come through and manifest in the natural to their natural body. They're decaying on the inside. That's why a lot of them smell, unless they can get some energy from you. So you gotta have life. Do the sniff test. No, I'm playing. I have to do that, but there is a sniff test. It's something that's bad. Don't touch
Yeah.
it. That's why they try to wipe out our senses with the COVID stuff, because you know you gotta have your smell to smell something rotten. So everybody got a pass when if they lost they sense of smell and taste. You got to pass for a minute, but God gave it back so we can know what we dealing with. So you got to understand it. This is serious, but understand too, like you have authority, and you just have to keep telling yourself truth. Just write the truth down every time those lies try to come, because that's all it is. Those lies are going to fire a million miles a minute with those darts. Maybe they this, maybe they that, because the enemy want to keep your mind going and going and going so they can recharge and send the narc back for destruction. So get captive of your mind. Take your mind back. Take it under your control, and then slow it down and really look at the situation for what it is. They were horrible. That's why you feel like they're a narcissist, because they were doing something that was off. And that's all it takes for you. Your worth is there. If they doing something that's off, deal breaker. No matter how long you've been with a deal breaker, your worth is there. Not what family said, not what anybody said, not what the past said, not what mistakes said. Your worth is what God said. And God said your worth is here. They should be treating you like this. If they treating you like this, deal breaker. That's all I'm going to leave you with today. Spring into life.
Go ahead.
I'm going to say this. First of all, I just want to say I am so grateful that God didn't give the devil permission to take me. I want to say that first of all. And that's why I try to tell a lot of people who are in that point where they want to unalive themselves. If you still breathing, you still got something to do. I'm still breathing. I have something to do. I don't know what it is. I'm not going to ask God what it is. I'm just going to let me lead him. Him lead me. Because sometimes it's best he don't tell you what your assignment is, because you can veer away from it because you don't agree with it. And that's even shown with Jesus when he told him to remove that cup from him. He knew his assignment, but the human in him at some point didn't want to go through with it. And so that's why sometimes he don't tell us our assignment. He just lead us to it. And we got to be there to take it and to accept it. And I do. And he see, like Keisha said, that I have a voice. And this devil wants me gone. He wants me to shut up. And the only way to silence me is through that way, because he can't do it any other way. And he's turning up that pain, not just on us, but on these narcissists too. And that's in my situation shows why revenge and wishing karma on somebody is not worth it, because he failed his assignment and he got his instant karma. He's where he deserved to be. And his own father did that, the one he was trying to destroy me for. Made sure that he got his karma, where he's going to sit in a jail cell facing 3 felonies for what he did to me. 3 felonies. So, yeah, he has sex abuse in the 3rd degree, 2 charges, and willful injury, which is also a felony. And, I'm so grateful that I'm here, because I felt like that man would have just put that pillow on my face had he thought about it, and just took me out and walked out, and my kids wouldn't have found me until in the morning. And I'm just grateful that God just saw fit for it to end the way that it did. So I'm grateful for the scrapes and bruises, because it could have been worse. And this just really just make me look to God even more, because I know my job is not done. As long as I'm breathing, I'm going to make sure that I do what I'm supposed to be doing, what God put me here to do. I have to, because this is not just an eye opener for you guys. It is for me as well. And, I should have heeded the warning when, I just wanted to stop fooling around with these people and stop trying to experiment and learn these people. Because at some point, it's going to get to this point, and I didn't see this coming. And so, I'm just going to just give you guys my words. I learned enough. I don't need to be out there trying to figure these people out no more. This was an eye opener for me, and I'm not doing this anymore. God said, enough. I got this. He said, I'm going to spare you. He said, this enough. I'll take it from here. And so I'm going to heed that warning, and I'm just going to be here just giving it to y'all every Friday.
Got my hand high for you.
We need you. We are so thankful. He definitely intervened, and we get to see. And you can be very smart. You can be very spiritually in tune and all of that, and you can still get deceived. That's why it takes a community. It does. And sometimes we still got to learn hard lessons. I thought I knew it all, but obviously I didn't see that kind of a devil. Now I can. And that's how we learn. And it's, it take a lot. Like he deserve everything that he's getting with justice, because it take a lot to heal from that. People don't know, like the trouble swallowing, like the different stuff that you can be susceptible to strep, everything that comes along with being choked, with being strangled. It's so much residual damage, because they be like, well, that's kind of strict, or that's tough. We minimize domestic violence. We minimize that abuse. We minimize it, and we think people should play it off. And that's part of why we have this pandemic of narcs right now. But it's not to be minimized. Like you see it on the YouTube all the time and news and everything when they unalive them. It's, and that's serious. And sometimes they'll do the whole family. Like, they are very evil-minded, psychopath, sociopath type of beings.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say this, man. Today, I am thankful. Yes. I am thankful today for the hard days. I am thankful for the hard times, for inconsistency, for changes, life changes. I am so excited and curious about how God moves me through this next phase in my life, because everything is changing around me, and it's changing in a way I had no clue, and I wasn't ready for it. Like, whoa, hey, what's going on here? However, again, I'm saying that, even though things are changing and not necessarily great change either, no, indeed. But at the same time, it is, because I'm walking into my future, and I'm getting a look at myself, and I get to share with you guys how me not sticking to the program, sticking to the plan, how that changes your life later, and it causes a different kind of urgency for you. Again, a bad day is still a good day as long as I woke up today. The worst day is still a great day. I still got another day. I still got another chance. I get to try it again tomorrow and the next day. Every day I get to try it again until God says, hey, man, that's it. That's your number right there. But until that day, man, I'm still winning. I'm still winning no matter what. I'm looking up at the scoreboard and I'm still up. And again, man, it feels good to be uncertain about the future in certain ways. it's a good feeling because it's all going to be a lesson. It's all a lesson. It's saying, hey, man, you know what? Those things that you thought were so secure, I'm going to change that. I'm going to change that up on you. We're going to let you really see what you made of. So I look forward to it. I embrace the change. I embrace it. I look like today, man, I woke up today just worried up. And by the end of the day, man, I was feeling cool and calm and sleepy. Like, man, I'm not about to worry myself about stuff I can't control.
Right.
And that I know God gonna take care of. That I know it's already a plan in place.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to worry myself about things that I know are already fixed. Okay, I'm proof of it. I'm still here. Everybody that's still here. If you still here today, man, that means that life is still good. You still working on it. It might feel sometimes, you might feel like, ugh, man, waking up ain't the greatest thing. Waking up into problems, waking up into stress and all that. I want you to know that you just wasting time when you worrying about stuff you cannot control.
Right.
You wasting time. All right. I ain't had the money for that right there. Okay. Okay. This person over here ain't gonna act right. Cool. Okay. You know, I need to get this over here repaired. This car acting funny. You know, this over here. This I gotta get this toilet fixed. This okay. Worry about the things you can control. Worry about things you can control. Don't let the rest of this mess have its way with you. Don't do it, because you will be walking around filled with anxiety, heart beating crazy, on all kind of medication because you're trying to control things that you don't control. It ain't.
I'm gonna talk about the toilet next one. Next time I'm gonna talk about that toilet thing.
Man,
It's a thing.
man, I see. But like I said, y'all, it's your day. It's your turn to win. I don't care how gloomy it looks. I know what's on the other side. Sometimes we are faced with financial woes because that's how God is telling us, hey man, you need to make some changes. You got a bunch of stuff you don't need. And you got a whole lot of weight on your back that's causing you stress in places you don't need. You don't need that. That's all. Yeah, it looks this way for people who could care less. Man, get your life somewhere where you can enjoy it, where you can have fun with it. Get your life somewhere where you're in control and you're confident. You're going to be tried. There is no growth in life without a trial. There is no growth in your life without constant trial. A trial is just another chance, another turn to prove I can get through anything. You are made like your father. You are made like your father. Your father. Did you know how proud that makes God to know that I let this happen to you and look how you made it through.
Yes.
Look what you did. Look how you figured that out. Yeah, I let your finances become attacked. I let your health get attacked. And look what you did. Look how you came through it. God, everything that we go through, man, that's God showing us who you really are, what you really made of.
Yeah.
Everything that we go through, every trial that we have, it's a decision, and you're making the decision.
Yeah.
You're making a decision, and it's all inside of us. All we got to do is follow that signal. Follow that voice inside you that's telling you what to do, that's guiding you. Follow that. It cannot lead you into the wrong place. That voice inside of you cannot lie to you. That's the one voice that cannot lie to you. So I want y'all to think on that this weekend. And we can, just like we came in here, but nothing but love, peace, and soul. Y'all have a wonderful weekend. We're going to see y'all next week.
Bye, everybody. Love you, China. You gonna be strong, girl. Be strong, girl.
I will.
Yeah. Keep doing what you're doing, because y'all do what you do. When you do what you do.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Good night.